In less than 24 hours, some of the world's leading humanitarian organizations could be barred from working in Gaza. That's as hundreds of thousands of Palestinians spend another night in makeshift tents enduring harsh winter conditions. Rain and storms have been flooding displacement camps, damaging tents and what few possessions many families still have left. The foreign ministries of 10 countries, including France, the UK, and Canada, have raised serious concerns about these sharply deteriorating conditions in the Strip. And now Israel announced it is suspending work permits for 37 aid groups. You see them listed here, saying the organizations do not meet new vetting requirements for operating inside the territory. It's all due to take effect on January the 1st. Now, Dr. James Smith is an emergency physician who spent several weeks volunteering in Gaza for one of the international NGOs that is now expected to be barred from operating there. He says if the ban goes ahead, it will be catastrophic.
A situation that is already horrific will be made even more horrific. The changes will be immediate and they will be ruthless. As you've mentioned, 37 organizations currently listed to be deregistered and barred from working in Gaza. Many of them have been working in Gaza for decades. Now, Israel has already tried to claim that these organizations manage a very small proportion of programs in Gaza, but this is frankly another example of misinformation on the part of Israel. If we take MSF, Doctors Without Borders, as a single example, in 2025, this year, they managed more than 22,000 operations. The UN this evening has issued a statement saying that if INGOs, international NGOs, were deregistered, then approximately a third of healthcare facilities would be forced to immediately close. That's the degree of reliance and dependency on international non-governmental organizations at the moment. We've long speculated that Israel and its allies would further undermine the humanitarian system so as to fill the gap that is created with a sort of a GHF 2.0, if you like. This is, again, it's an extension of Israel's long-standing strategy of titrating humanitarian access and humanitarian services as a core pillar of the occupation and of the genocide. Israel wants to exert totalizing control over all aspects of Palestinian life, not only in Gaza, but throughout occupied Palestine.
As the humanitarian crisis deteriorated in Gaza this year, a controversial organization called the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation was put in charge of food distribution. During its 6-month operation, thousands of Palestinians were killed at or near its hubs. Tariq Abu Azoum reports now from the Al-Nusayrat refugee camp in central Gaza.
They were known as Gaza's death traps, food distribution sites run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. More than 2,600 Palestinians were killed at or near them. Another 19,000 were injured. Places meant to provide humanitarian aid became sources of mass harm.
Islam Baraka says her husband Yahya was wounded every time he tried to get something to eat. And on his final trip, he was killed.
My husband went to the GHF aid centers because our economic situation had become unbearable. We had no flour in the house, not even tomatoes. That's why he went multiple times, and each time he was wounded. He did it to prevent his family from going hungry. Now we are left without any breadwinner.
Majid Abu Laban says he was shot twice waiting for food.
When I arrived in Wadi Gaza, we were hit by an artillery shell. Many young men around me were killed and I was critically wounded. What drove us to go there was the merciless hunger, the unbearable starvation, and the desperate needs of our children.
The GHF, an organization backed by the US and Israel, was tasked with managing food distribution for more than 2 million Palestinians. But its operations did not resemble humanitarian relief. The controversial group set up 4 sites that were secured by US private military contractors, with Israeli forces close by. Aid groups warned the 4 hubs were not enough. The UN had 400. The result was catastrophic. Tens of thousands of starving people were forced to travel long distances to get something to eat. Many never returned. The world's leading aid organizations said the model violated the principles that define their work: neutrality, impartiality, independence, and above all, humanity. For families in Gaza, the cost is not theoretical. It's measured in death and survival.
Here, people risked everything just for a bag of flour. A system meant to save lives became a killing ground. Even with the GHF sites dismantled under the terms of the ceasefire agreement, the legacy is evident. Hunger and the threat of famine persist. And aid reaching Gaza is only a fraction of what's truly needed. Tariq Abu Azzoum, Al Jazeera, from Al Nusayrat refugee camp, Palestine.